Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Chelsea if you're new here. If you want to see if you want to see how we got this little cutie from where she was waking up every 30 minutes to an hour and we got her to sleep through the night, then stay tuned. What is the Ferber method? I will put the definition on the screen that I find on Google, but basically what it is you lay your child down when they're sleepy, and then it gives you time. So like the first day, you let them cry for 3 minutes, you come into the room, you don't pick them up, you just kind of comfort the baby. What worked for me was really just laying my hand on her chest and talking to her in a sweet, calm voice and letting her know it's gonna be okay. And then you spend less than a minute in the room, you walk out, and then you extend the time. So the next time that she cries would be 5 minutes. And I believe the first night goes up to 7 minutes. And so every time thereafter, it's 7 minutes that is the top that you let them cry. And then they eventually will put themselves to sleep. And then you repeat that every time the baby wakes up in the middle of the night. So 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. And then the second night, it gets a little longer. So at first you'll do 5 minutes and then 7 minutes and then 10 minutes and so on and so forth. Typically, right off the bat, it's not recommended to try it with nap time. It's just to get them on a good nighttime sleep routine. But I know my Millie, and if I was not consistent, then she was gonna get all kinds of messed up and get confused. And so I really implemented it with nap time as well. When you do implement nap time, it's only recommended that you don't let them cry more than a total of 30 minutes. So for us, what worked? If you have not seen my video of my bedtime tips, I will link that down below in the description. But we really, before we started the Ferber method, we made sure that we had a routine set in place. And I really only started this like a couple of days before. I was really bad about being consistent about a bedtime routine. My kids are involved in sports, and some nights we would be home. Some nights we would not be home until 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes, we were just home, gone, and it was chaos all the time. And I knew that was not a good time to try the Ferber method. So my kids actually, we met their grandparents halfway, and they took them for the weekend because I knew that if she was screaming all night long, I didn't want 3 kids awake all night long. So I didn't think that was going to be very wise. And so luckily we are so blessed they took them for the weekend. In order to meet them halfway, it was about 2 hours or so of a drive. And Millie cried the entire way back home. She didn't fall asleep. I was back there with her. I was trying everything to get her to calm down. She cried. So really, I think our success of the first night was because she cried the entire way home. She has never been a car rider. She does not like riding in the car at all. So that was fun. But we came home and I fed her. I made sure she was good and full so she wasn't gonna be hungry. And I laid her in her crib. I turned her sound machine on, all that. And she went right to sleep. And she slept until I think it was about 6 o'clock the next morning that she woke up. And I couldn't believe it. And I told my husband, okay, tomorrow night's probably gonna be a little rough because last night was too easy. So the next night we did her bedtime routine, laid her down, turned her sound machine on. She cried for a few minutes. We only had to go in there twice, I believe, and then she put herself to sleep. Now she's not she was not a big napper. If I can remember correctly, I think she only took about a 30-minute nap total that day for the second day. And she was pretty tired. So she slept all through that night. She woke up once around midnight, but I'd never even had to come back in her room. She put herself to sleep after, I want to say it was about 3 or 4 minutes. It was not very long. So that was incredible. The third night, however, was a little more rough. She did wake up 2 or 3 times, which still is, that's amazing, because she was waking up every 30 minutes to an hour before we started this, and I was not getting any sleep. She was not napping. She was not sleeping through the night. It was rough. It was really, really hard. And so the third day we went back to get the kids. So we drove again 2 hours and came back. So that was, a lot of riding in the car, but this time, instead of screaming the whole time, she slept. That, I think, is what attributed to her having a little rougher night. It took a little while for her to get to sleep. She woke up a few times during that night, but she was able to end up eventually put herself back to sleep. And the kids, they were so tired from being at their grandparents all weekend that they didn't even hear her, so that was good. Which the Ferber method, if you look it up, it does say nights 3 and 4 are gonna be the hardest. So I kind of had that in mind. After about 5 days, she still whines a little bit when we set her down for her nap or for bedtime. I read her tired cues, so she'll rub her eyes, of course, and yawn, but she grabs her hair and she'll start twirling her hair a little bit, and that tells me that she's about ready for bed. So usually we put her down between 7 and 7:30 is about when she's at her limit and she's had enough. Sometimes she'll sleep till about 6:30 in the morning, and sometimes she doesn't want to get up until 8. And I let her wake up on her own. I don't come in here and make her wake up. She also has been napping a lot better. I think her getting a good night's rest is allowing her to get a good nap during the day, which I'm so thankful for, especially with homeschooling my older 2. It's made it a lot easier to where we can get some work done. She will wake up and then she usually won't go down for her nap. It doesn't matter if she wakes up at 6:30 or if she wakes up at 8. Usually by about 10:15, she's ready for her nap, and she will wake up about 12:15. So she's taking about a 2-hour nap. I'm so grateful for the Ferber method. I had always said I was not gonna let my kid just lay there and cry to figure out how to go to sleep. We had tried everything. It was not working for her. We tried the lay her down drowsy but awake. We really tried everything. And after talking with her pediatrician at her 9-month checkup, she said, why don't you try the Ferber method? And we did, and it's been life-changing, and I'm so grateful. I feel like a brand new woman because I'm getting sleep again. So I highly recommend this. If you have never thought about trying Ferber method, or you've never really wanted to let your baby cry it out like I was, this really made it a lot easier. One, for the baby, because you're coming in there and calming them down after a few minutes. You're not just leaving them there to cry forever and ever and ever. And 2, it's easier on your mama heart. You're able to come in there and console her and not just have to sit there and listen to her cry, because it's heartbreaking to hear your baby just lay there and cry when all she wants is her mama. So thank you guys if you've stuck around this far. Thank you so much for watching. I want to encourage you to try this method if you haven't already. It's really been amazing, and I'm just so grateful for it. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all stay blessed.